Hi, welcome to Zaza Line. My name is Janeta, and in today's tutorial we are working on this fun sling bag. Sling bag, fanny bag, some people call it bum bag. Anyways, the same thing. It's a small bag that you wear whichever you want. This one, I'll just demonstrate how this one would look on an adult, a smaller adult. So yeah, it is a little bigger size. It can hold quite a bit. You can put it on the side or on the back. There is adjustable strap, so you can, and a buckle, so you can make it much shorter. I actually made this bag for my son. It's gonna be his 13th birthday, and so this is gonna be my present to him. Let's just see how it looks. Okay, so the idea is he has a GoPro and he loves skiing, so this bag is made specifically for his needs. And I will show you how all the things will fit in. So we have a nice pocket right here. So we usually take walkie-talkies so we can communicate. So he has a quick access to the walkie-talkie. So there, and you can easily close it down. Then he needs some spare batteries. So those can be right here. Again, easy access. We have one big pocket in the bag. They are all lined, so no raw edges. That could be for the phone. It's actually gonna be against the body. And then we have the main pocket, or the main compartment, and you can see these elastics. So I made it so the items are not flying around, so they are nice and steady. So this is his GoPro camera, and we can just secure it excuse me, secure it in place. We can put some snacks. There is a space for a small water bottle. So everything is gonna fit in. It's still half empty, there is still lots of room. So the idea was so he can wear it across, underneath the jacket, or even on top of the jacket. That's why the adjustable strap, or you can, or he can have it around his waist. So this is designed for my 13-year-old son, but you can use it for anything. You can put nicer colors, and it can be your everyday bag. So anyways, let's get started. Before we dive in, if you find a value in this video, please subscribe so I can continue making these projects for you. And also it's gonna help the channel to grow. You will know when a new video is released. Usually I make a new video every week and I post it on Saturday morning, so you know that on the weekend you have the whole weekend to sew. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go over all the things we need for this project. So as always, we need a pattern, and you can find a PDF file that you can download on zazalinestudio.com. You can also find some of the hardware I have in here. One of them is this press lock. It's very easy to open and close. And I have some of the straps and foldable bias on my website. Not this one, it's a different kind. Anyway, so we will need the zippers, bias, strap, and we will need the side release plastic buckle and strap adjuster. Let's start with panel A, which is the front pocket flap. So we have two pieces, and we have interfacing, and on the pattern it's gonna tell you exactly what you need. So you need two exteriors and interfacing. So I did put interfacing on one of the panels. So we are gonna place the two good sides together, and we are gonna sew all around, but we are gonna leave a little spot open, so we are not gonna sew right here. Now when we are done, we are gonna do tiny little notches, just so it's easier to turn it around. So once you are done turning it inside out, we still have a little opening here, so we are gonna go back to the sewing machine, and we are just gonna sew about 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. Now when we close down this piece, we are gonna bring back the D. So this is gonna be the front pocket. So we have interfacing on the other side. We are gonna look at the good side, and we are gonna measure 1.5 inches from the top. And let's do a little mark. So 1.5 inches is about here. 1.5 inches. There we go, and that's our guide. And now we are gonna place the this piece, and we will line it up with the line we just did. Now we are gonna bring the pins, and we are gonna pin it in place. And now we are gonna take it to the machine, and we are gonna do 1 inch, not 1 inch, sorry, 1 centimeter, which is 3/8 of an inch from the bottom edge. So we are gonna go right here. Make sure you go back and forth, back stitch on both sides. Okay, so this is how it should look like. We are gonna flip this down and place or clip it in a place. Okay, so now we can put this piece on the side. And while I have my black thread in my machine, I'm gonna work on the back panel with my zipper. So I decided in the back to make it a little more fun, because I will have just plain black. So I will add the zipper on the back pocket. So we need the K panel, and we are gonna place the exterior panel right side up. We will take our zipper. The head is facing or is aiming to the left, and then we will flip it down, position it somewhere so it's in the middle. The zipper is cut a little bit longer, and now we will clip it in place. And then we will take our lining, and we will place it the good side down, so the good sides are facing each other. And then we will take it to the machine, and we are gonna sew 1 centimeter along the edge, which is 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so now when you flip it open, you can press it down with the iron, and now we are gonna top stitch right here. Okay, now when the bottom part is done, we are gonna grab panel L, and we will do the same thing. Okay, so place again the good side facing up. Now we are gonna flip this down, and again we will line up the top. If you want, you can do your center. I will just eyeball it. I can see where it ends, and then I will place this again good side down. That's the lining, and we will sandwich it together, clip it in place, and we will repeat the same process. So we are gonna do 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And again, when you are done, you can flip it open, press it down with an iron, and you will top stitch like you did the other piece, the other part. Okay, so we are almost done with the back pocket. Now we are gonna take a G panel, and that is a lining. So we are gonna flip this on the other side, and we are gonna place the lining good side down. So again, the good sides are facing each other. And now we are gonna go all around, and it will be only 1/8 of an inch. So 3 millimeters, 1/8 of an inch. We will go all around. Okay, so we have our pocket done, and we can put this on a side. Okay, so now we are gonna prep the zipper. So we have the zipper, and then we have a zipper end. So we just need one, and we will fold the ends and fold it again. So it creates this little folded pocket, and now we are gonna place the zipper inside. We'll clip it in place, and now we are just gonna sew right here. Now when we finished the end and there is a little excess, that's okay, we can just cut it off so it looks the same. Now we are gonna bring back the pocket that we worked on before, and let's find a midline, but we are gonna find the midline from where the zipper starts. So from here to here. Okay, so once we have our zipper prepped, we are gonna take back the pocket that we worked on, and also a lining C. So we will need one of the linings. Okay, so let's mark. I already marked the midlines. I will do a midline on my lining piece. I didn't do that one. Okay, and now we are looking at the zipper. We will flip it down so the head is on the left side. Right here, clip it in place. And now we are going to take the lining, and the lining is the good side down. And let's align the notches. Good. And we can go to the sewing machine, and we can do 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, when we have the zipper end, it doesn't matter if you have the tape or if you have the beginning, you are just gonna move this out of the way. So if you have a continuous zipper, you will just guide it away. In my case, I will move this out of the way, and then I will put the lining on top. Okay, so little piece is sticking out right there. Okay, so now when we are done, we are gonna flip it open. Close the zipper. So I just want to show you the zipper is away. So this is where it ends. We need about 1.5 centimeters, around 1 centimeter, 3/8 of an inch, a gap on both sides. And now we will flip it open. You can press it down if you want, and we are gonna top stitch right here. Now I'm gonna introduce new piece, and that's B, and we are gonna need the other C lining. So we have B and C. Now we are gonna take the lining, and we are looking at the good side of the lining. In my case, I have the waxed canvas, so my shiny side is down. That's the wrong side. So we are looking at the right side, and let's make a little midline. Okay, so let's place the midlines on each other, and now we have our B panel. We are gonna flip it the good side down, line up the notches, and we will do the same thing we did on the other side. We are just gonna move this out of the way. And we are gonna go back to the sewing machine, and we will do 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. So now when we are done, we usually do top stitching. We are not gonna do the top stitching this time, but what we are gonna do, we have 2 linings here, and they should be facing the good sides together. Now we are gonna place the one lining. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. We are gonna place the sides right here, and we are gonna clip them in place. You can go tiny little bit over. I don't know if you can see. We will do one side, and then we will do the same thing on the other side. So you can go tiny little bit over. You can open up the zipper, it's gonna be easier. There we go. And now we are gonna go back to the machine. I will zoom out again. And these pieces are a little bit longer. That's okay. We will cut them later. We are gonna sew right here, and we just want to connect all the pieces together. And then later on, we will cut the excess on the bottom. Make sure you back stitch on the sides here. Okay, so our pocket is done. And now we have a little excess on the bottom. That's okay, we can just cut it off. Okay, so now 2 out of 3 pockets are done. We are gonna move this on the side and we are gonna bring E. So this is our front pocket. So what we are gonna do, we will make sure the pieces are facing each other. So we have lining, exterior panel, and interfacing. And we are gonna place them together. And once you have them lined up, we will top stitch 1 centimeter on the top. And that would be 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and now we are gonna place these little notches together. And we are gonna sew right here. We are gonna do it on all 4 of them. And you always want to place the good sides together. Okay, so this is what we should end up with. We did all 4 corners, and now we are gonna place them together, and let's push it in, and it should match up nicely. Now what we are gonna do, we already did the top, we are gonna do the sides and the bottom, but again we are gonna leave this area open because then later on we are gonna flip it inside out. So we will do 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch all around except of this spot. Okay, so once you flip it over, I actually ironed it a little bit so it looks better and it's more manageable. We still have the opening on the bottom here and we need that. Before we close it, I'm gonna take one of these press logs. So they are called press logs because you press it and open it. So we have to apply or put this in before we close the hole on the bottom. Otherwise it's gonna show in here and that's not gonna look pretty. So we have to see where we are gonna place it. So we have 2 options. We can either place it all the way to the edge, or what's I think better, we will apply it so it's flush with the side. So I will do that now because I want to get the placement. So let's put it all the way to here. We still have to have at least 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch, because we are gonna need it for seam allowance of the other panel. So let's just keep it from the edge, and the same thing on the bottom. We know that this piece is gonna be 1 centimeter from the bottom, 3/8 of an inch. So let's just place it there. And this is how we are gonna sew it in place. So this is how the pocket is gonna look like. So now we have to get the placement of the flap, because this part is gonna be here, and we have to make it a little bit looser, and then we have to put this piece on the other part. So let's just see where about we are gonna keep it, and I think we should keep it somewhere in here. So that's where we are gonna mark it, and that's where we are gonna do the little cuts. Okay, so let's attach the top. So once you figured out where the midline is, you just want to have the top piece, and there are 2 little screws. I'm just gonna make little marks so I know where it's supposed to go. So it's supposed to go in between these 2. And let's place this in. Okay, and it's pretty secure. It's not going anywhere. So you will need a tiny little screwdriver. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small. Usually you use this one for glasses when you are tightening the screws. So they have similar screws, and you just want to make them nice and tight, and it kind of pushes the fabric in. So that's it. So we have this part done. Now we know where this one goes, so we are gonna make marks. Just make these ones straight. You want to have some kind of a pen or some kind of marker, because we are gonna mark it where it goes. So we want to keep the pocket a little loose. That's for little bulkier objects, items for this pocket, so we don't want to have it too tight. So let's put it on, and I think this is a pretty good placement. Right here. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so I marked my 4 spots. So now before I take this off, I will mark where this is gonna go. So just take some pencil or something to mark the edge. And once you mark it all around, so you know where the pocket where it goes back. So we made the marks, so we know where it goes after. And now let's place this other part on. So we are gonna do little cuts, but we are not gonna make them all the way through. We will just make them in here. So put your fingers in, make sure you don't cut yourself. And you're just gonna do a tiny little slots, tiny, tiny. And that's where you made the marks. Usually I like to use a little bit of interfacing. This is the fleece interfacing for a little bit more stability. So what I'm gonna do, I will push these through. And then whatever is extra, I will cut it out so it doesn't show through. There we go. Now let's push it through, and it goes this way. Okay, so once you push them through and they are on the other side, showing just like this, I will place one more on the bottom here, again for more stability. And you can do little cuts, or this fleece is easy to push through. Okay, and then we have these two. Okay, then you're gonna place it on the outside edge and you will push away. Okay, so that's it. We place this one in. Okay, so now when we have the buckle in, we can close down this gap. So we will open this up and we will line it up the same way it was before. So just follow the lines that you made. And before you sew anything in place, just try the buckle, see if it fits. And then we will go back to the sewing machine and we are just gonna go around. Make sure you back stitch at the end here. Okay, so this part is done. So we attach just the very end of the edge. So we just went a few millimeters, about 3 millimeters from the edge, just to secure it. And at the same time, we closed down the gap on the bottom. So now we are gonna bring panel F, and that's gonna be the side. So this is gonna be a little tight in here. We are gonna place the good sides together. So we are gonna do both sides, and if you have 1 centimeter, you should have 1 centimeter in there. So we are gonna attach both sides. You can open up the pocket so it's a little easier, so you can squeeze the sides. And we are just gonna go 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch on the side. I would try to line up the bottom first. So this is more important. If you have a little, like I have a tiny little bit more on the top, it depends on how close you are sewing the zipper. So it is possible that you will have a little left over. That's okay. We can cut it off later on because we have more room on the top. We don't have that much room on the bottom. So we want to line up the bottom pieces. They have to be flushed. They have to be matching on the bottom. Okay, so now when we have done the side wings, we are gonna open it up and we will top stitch on both sides. And you should be pretty close to the pocket on both sides. Okay, so once we have the front panel done, we top stitched right here, we are gonna take our back panel that we have done before, and we just want to compare. We want to make sure that the both pieces are the same. This top piece is slightly bigger, and again, it depends how much space you are leaving around the zipper. So no big deal. We are not gonna cut anything on the bottom just because we don't have much space here. We have more space up here. So let's line it up. And I already did my little mark where I'm gonna cut, and I just need to trim this down. So all you have to do is just go ahead and go to the line. We want both panels, the front and back, to be matching. So we want them to be the same size. And it should line up pretty well. I think I was about 1/2 centimeter off, which is not too bad. There we go. And that way my both pieces, the front and back, are lined up and they match nicely. Okay, so now let's work on the strap and the strap extension. So we need 8, and I already prepped my pieces. So all we are gonna do, we will place them the right sides together, and on each side we are gonna place one inside. Before I do anything, I like to keep my straps nice and tight. Okay, so they don't fray on me. So I can do the same thing on this side. Okay. So we are gonna place this in the middle. So we have about 1 centimeter on each side. And we will do the same thing with the other one. And now we are gonna sew all 3 sides. We are gonna leave this one open. So we are gonna go 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so once we are done, we are just gonna cut the corners, and we can cut the excess. And we will flip it around. Okay, so now once we turn them inside out, we are gonna top stitch from all 3 sides. So once the straps are done, we will put them on the side. We will finish them later. And now we are going to be working on the lining. So I have lining, I have 2 pieces remaining, and that's the G panel. And I also have elastic. And what I'm gonna make, so one is just a regular lining, no interfacing. The other one, I used interfacing that is a little stiff, you see, so it's almost like a cardboard. And the reason is I want this to be steady for my elastic. So I'm making this for my son, and he will be using it for GoPro, and I want him to, you know, put things inside, and I want them to be secure. So what I'm gonna do, I will do it somewhere in the middle, and I cut my elastic a little bit longer, but I will make a few pockets that are a little bit looser, one that is steady, one that is maybe a little bit looser, and then I will just sew the ends. We don't have to do anything fancy about the ends because they are going to be covered anyways. So there are lots of options how you can do it. You can even make a little pocket. It's very versatile. I will make 2 that are a little bit looser, one that is smaller and tight, and one that is kind of medium. So then he can decide where he wants to secure what. So I'm gonna take it to the machine, and I'm just gonna cut on the sides and secure it in place. Okay, so there we go. I have my little pockets done. I'm gonna cut off the ends because I don't need them anymore. And this lining is done. We can put it on the side. Okay, so now let's put the linings on both panels, the front and the back. So this is the front panel, and I have a lining here, and we want the lining to be facing the wrong sides together. And we will stitch all around 3 millimeters, which would be 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so once this one is attached, we can see both sides, and we are just going a few millimeters from the edge, or 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Now that's the front pocket. Now we are gonna grab the other side. So this is the back pocket, and again we will flip them the wrong sides together, and because this is kind of in the middle, it doesn't really matter if we are gonna put it this way or this way. And we are gonna do the same thing. We are gonna go around with 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so now we have the lining attached on this piece. So we are gonna place it the right side up, so we are looking at the pocket, and we are gonna attach the straps. So we want the straps to be straight. So let's make it flush with the zipper, because then it's gonna look like this. So right here, let's clip it in place. And we will do the same on this side. So again, we will flush it with the zipper, so at the same level. And the right side, the straight side is going up, and the angle side is on the bottom. So this is what we are looking at. Okay, and we are gonna take it to the machine, and we are just gonna attach the strap to the back panel, and we are gonna use 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so now we are gonna work on panel I, so that's the upper gusset. So we need 2 linings and 2 exterior pieces and a zipper. So let me just grab one of each. And so what we are gonna do is, let's place the zipper down. So this is the right side up, this is the wrong side. So we are looking at the right side. We will flip the zipper down. The zipper head is on the left side, and we are just gonna line it up. The zipper is longer, so we don't really have to do any midlines, and we are gonna clip it together. And I'm gonna do it in 2 steps. You can do it in one. You can add the lining, the good side down, and you can just stitch it this way. Because it's so narrow, I usually like to do this in 2 steps. So let's do this one first. And for this one, we are gonna do just 3 millimeters. So we just want to attach the zipper to the bottom part. So 3 millimeters, which would be 1/8 of an inch. So let's do that first. Okay, so now when the first part is done, and you can see I just went just at the very end of the zipper, just to attach it in place. And now we are gonna add the lining. So the lining is gonna go the good side down. So my wrong side is the shiny side, and we are just gonna place the good side down and just line up the pieces. And either you can do the midline, you can do a little notch in here, or a little mark. I'm just gonna line them up this way. I know they are the same pieces, the same size, so I will line them up this way. And we are gonna clip it in place, and we will go back to the machine, and this time we are gonna go 1 centimeter. So we want to get a little closer to the zipper. So 1 centimeter, which would be 3/8 of an inch. Right there. Okay, so now we are gonna open it up, and you can press down with an iron. If you are using a wax canvas like I am using, just put the heat on a little lower. You don't want to burn it, because this is wax, you see the shiny side, and that would melt. So either press it with fingers or iron it, and then we want to top stitch. And this is my exterior panel. So we are gonna top stitch right here. Okay, and now we are gonna add the same thing on the other side. So my good side is going down, and we will again line it up, make sure it starts, or you can do the little notch in the middle. but I'm just gonna go like this. And again, we are gonna first attach this piece onto the zipper, and then we will do the second step and we will put the lining in. Okay, so I finished both sides and I cut out the excess zipper. So this is what we should end up with. So we have the exterior panel on one side and we have the lining on the other side. We top stitched on both sides, and now we are gonna move to the lower gusset. So we will need J, and don't forget this is on fold, so it's twice as big, okay, when you are cutting out the piece. And now we are going to attach the upper gusset to the lower gusset. So we are again looking at the good side up. We are going to place this down. So we are looking at the wrong side up. So good sides facing each other. And we will start on this side. Let's clip it in place. And now we are gonna take the lining and we're gonna place the lining good side down. So we are again looking at the shiny side, which is the wrong side of the lining. And we will clip it in place. Okay, now we are gonna do the same thing. This piece is a little bit bigger. It should be bigger. So we are just gonna clip it like so. And on both sides we will do 1 centimeter on both sides, which is 3/8 of an inch. Right here. Okay, so when we are done, we will flip this around. Just like so. So you should have a nice big circle. And now we are gonna stretch this. You can press it with your fingers, you can iron it, press it down with hot iron. And now we are gonna top stitch right here and right here. And this is what we should end up with. Also, once you top stitch here, you want to go all around and just attach these two pieces. And it's going to be easier for us later on because it's going to be one solid unit, and then we will attach it to the other pieces. So first we are going to top stitch here, and then we are going to top stitch around and around, and we just want to attach them together. So again, stay close to the edge, about 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so this is what we should end up with. And now we are going to find the midlines. So let's put these ones together, and we will do tiny little snip. Just tiny little one, okay? I don't want to do anything too big on both sides, because that's going to help us to guide where we are going to put the gussets. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my front panel, and we are looking at the right side. So we are looking at the pocket. Now we are gonna take the zipper side, and we will, so we have the zipper head on the left side. Now we are gonna flip it down. So again, the good sides are facing each other. That's usually the general rule. The good sides are facing each other, and we are gonna line up the notches that we made, and we are gonna clip all around. When we get to the curve, you can do tiny little snips, just tiny little ones. And it's gonna help us to curve it. Okay, so when we have the clips all around, we want to go 1 centimeter, 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so when we have this part done, we are gonna flip it over, and we are gonna add this panel on. So I just secure the strap inside so we don't accidentally go over it, and we are gonna place it down. And I have my marks, my center marked already. So let's attach this piece to the bottom, and we will do exactly the same thing. After we attach it, we will just sew it around. Okay, so once you are done, just make sure, take your scissors and make sure that both layers or all the layers are equal. So there are always going to be tiny little pieces. One is going to be bigger, smaller. Just make sure they are all nice and even, because the more even they will be, the easier it's going to be to sew in the bias tape. And I usually leave about 1 centimeter from the edge. So just do both sides, so nothing is sticking out, everything is nice and ready for the bias tape. You can open this up, and now I got ready my bias. I was originally gonna use a different color, but I think this one is gonna look better. So I made my own bias. It's the same material as the lining, and you want 2 inches, which would be 5 centimeters. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to connect the two pieces if you have them too short and you want to make one long one. So you are gonna place 2 good sides together on 90-degree angle. 90-degree would be this, and you are gonna clip them in place. You wanna run away? Okay. Let's get another one. And what we want to do is sew on a diagonal line. So from here to here. And then we will cut this piece open. And what's going to happen? We are going to have a nice line. So it's going to be barely visible that you actually connected the 2 pieces. Okay, so now what we are gonna do, we are gonna open up the piece. I can't really go down with the iron on this side because this is wax. So I will place it this way. I can do on low temperature so the other side doesn't melt. There we go. We will make it nice and flat. And now we are gonna prep the piece a little bit. So we are gonna do half. And you see my pieces are melting, so I can't use my iron for too long. So just quick midline. Okay, so now, so it's even easier to apply the bias tape. We are gonna fold it in half, and again in half. Fold it, and then we are gonna iron it, press down with the iron. And you can put a clip in so it stays in place. And you can prep both pieces the same way. Okay, so now when we have our bias ready, we will start on the bottom. You don't want to start from the top, but from the bottom. And somewhere on the side. And it's very easy. Now we will just slip it in. Open it up, slip it to the end, and we will go around just like this. And we will do both sides to cover up the raw edges. Okay, so now when we are done on both sides, we can flip the back inside out. Okay, so the back is done. I love how it turned out. I love this zipper in the back. So we are gonna add the strap now. So on the shorter piece, we are gonna use, so the buckle is like this. It's the side release buckle. So this bigger, bulkier part is gonna be on the shorter area. So we are gonna go from the top over. We'll pull it out on the other side. We will fold it. And then we are gonna sew right in here and just do it a few times for security. Okay, so this part is done. And now let's put this one in so it's a little less confusing. And we will need the glider first. So the strap adjuster, some people call it. So let's go over and over the mid bar. So this is the mid bar. We will push it on the side, and then we have this strap, so we are gonna go under. I don't know if you can see it. Under and over. So it should look like this. And now we will make it a little bit more. We will loosen up this strap adjuster, make it nice and loose. And then we have to go under the bar again. So we will go over, but we are doing everything underneath the outer strap. And then, so we are doing a little loop over the mid bar. So I don't know if you can see it right in here. This is how it should look like. And now we have to, so make this one go away because we will need a space here. And we will fold it. So just leave a little bit open in there. Fold it. And this is where we are going to attach it. Don't know if you can see that. This is where we attach it. So we have the strap adjuster right here. We went under, and now we are gonna sew right in here. And this is it. The strap is done. So now we can easily adjust it and make it smaller, bigger. You can wear it across the body, around your waist, whichever you like. So if you stay till the end, congratulations. This was a little bit more difficult than all the other projects we have done. This one, because it had lots of different pockets that we haven't done before. It is a little more challenging, but worth it. We have a beautiful bag. I hope my son is gonna like it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I will see you next time on my next project, and please subscribe if you didn't do so.